Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. Join award-winning host Dale Davidson as he interviews the most remarkable people you'll find in the entertainment capital of the world. You'll meet entertainers, sports figures, newsmakers, community and business leaders, and people just like you with stories that'll touch your heart. Now, here's Dale Davidson.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Thank you for tuning in. Each and every episode, we do our best to bring you fascinating guests. We've outdone ourselves this time. Russell Glick is with us. We'll call him Russ, if that's okay. A U.S. Army veteran. He's got a great project for veterans. He's an Iraq War hero and a great family man. We're going to get into all of that. Russ, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about your backstory. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
When I was young, my parents separated, and we lived with my grandparents for a short time.
Okay.
And then my mom got remarried. So that's kind of a reason why I joined the military, because that involved a lot of poverty and drug use. We were homeless for a while, but
wow.
When I was about 24, after being the sole supporter of the family, I think probably for a couple of years, I decided I had to get out. And so I joined the Army.
Okay.
I was in the Army for 10 years as a combat engineer. They're the IED hunters, the ones who look for the things that nobody wants to find.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So doing that job is, when we were there, because we were there in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005, so kind of in the middle, but at the time they didn't really have an IED plan.
Okay.
And so as combat engineers, we were looking for weapons caches.
Okay.
And then they said, well, wait a minute, your job's mobility. You have to get us, mobility on these roads. So they switched us in the middle of our deployment to doing early route clearance.
Oh, jeez.
And route sanitation, which is basically where we look for IEDs and we clean trash, cars, junk, anything off the side of the road so that
the
there's no
vehicles
place
can move.
To hide them.
Oh,
Right.
I see. Okay.
And so
okay.
Nowadays they have these giant up-armored vehicles that have, these huge fans that blow all the trash away. And,
oh, I see.
And they have big arms that they can poke things with so that, they don't have to be out there. When I was there, we had it's called an APC. It's basically a metal box on tank tracks.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't have any of that stuff, so we would get out of it and walk down the side of the road with mine detectors, looking for things that would blow vehicles up. So,
yeah.
And then we did sanitation with an ACE, which is basically an armored bulldozer. So
wow.
And then so I did that for 10 years.
You were deployed multiple times?
I was only deployed the one time.
Okay.
During the time I was deployed, I probably shouldn't have been deployed because I already had a bad knee.
Oh, I see.
But I did anyways. And the experiences and I had the shock waves of explosions.
You were that close.
Well, I was the gunner for the APC, and so
okay.
When an IED went off, it would usually go off on, they would try and set it off at the beginning part to separate the tracks so that we would run off of them. They kind of had plans for specific things. There was numerous times where, because we had we called it a chicken shield.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the turret of the gun had this armored, kind of diamond-shaped, circular thing that was metal and would protect us from shrapnel and gunshots. But problem with it being metal is when the shock wave of an explosion hits you, you get slammed into the metal framework of the shield.
Wow.
So that happened a couple times. I've had an IED go off pretty close on the ground when we were doing the part of a route sanitation thing. And then a good friend of mine, we lost a couple people from my battalion. A really good friend who, on the mission that we were doing, his job basically was to ensure we had a safe route. But he violated one of the most basic rules that we learn, and that's don't ever take the same way back that you take out.
Oh, really?
Because as soon as you leave, they see which way you go, and they put an IED there.
Oh, I see.
And that's
so they're watching you.
Right. And so that's what they think happened. They think that's what they thought happened. The locals said it was a RPG, but that was not
rocket-propelled grenade.
Right, rocket-propelled grenade. But that's not... So, anyways, I lost a really good friend, and it was kind of a horrible situation. And I know that a lot of soldiers go through that.
Well, that had to really affect you. Because of your war experiences, did you suffer from PTSD?
Yeah, I can say that with time in my family, I've gotten a little better at recognizing it, but a lot of people don't even know their symptoms, I don't think.
Oh, really?
It's like, I never realized how angry I sounded when I talked a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And then just having my wife with me was like looking at her, looking at me when I'm talking, and I'm like, am I talking angry? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh.
Tone of voice kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just...
Kathleen is her name, Kathy.
Yeah.
And how long you guys been married?
13 years.
13 years. And you have how many kids?
Well, we actually have no kids together.
Okay.
All of our kids are kind of blended family.
All right.
She has 4, I have 2, so it's 6.
Right.
We have 6 kids, and they're all great. Some have problems, but I mean, in a family that big, any little problem can escalate quickly.
Yeah, I'm familiar, believe me. So I know you're trying to help veterans. You're doing everything you can. Was it your personal experiences that caused you to want to do the Veteran Dream Farm?
Well, yes and no. Originally, me and my brother, his friend Carmen, and my friend, his name's Kevin, we always, when we got back, we talked about finding land somewhere out in the middle of nowhere and building a moat and growing our own food, and just kind of isolating ourselves from society. Yeah. And a lot of that comes from PTSD, and I mean, my brother served, his friend Carmen served, and so we all have forms of it. Mm-hmm. Because everybody's is different depending on them and their situation. But I was actually in church, and I had been thinking about the whole veteran issues, and because I'm involved in a lot of veteran pages on Facebook, and I worked at a college when I first got out of the Army.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was a VA representative. Basically, I helped people get classes in college.
Oh, okay.
And I saw a lot of the problems there. I got involved. I was the Veteran Club president. We did a lot of different things, but I never seemed to get done what I wanted to.
Really?
I wanted to do something that would actually help. So, fast forward 8 years, and I was at church, and our pastor was talking about what is your holy discontent? Basically, what about society that's wrong, touches you in your soul and tells you you need to do something.
And so it motivated you. Yeah.
As he was preaching that, it felt like I think I had my first Holy Spirit experience then.
Really? Right then and there?
Right then and there.
Wow.
It felt like someone was downloading boxes of information into my head.
Wow, that's great.
Time has gone on from then. Like different things just pop up, and a lot of times it's like a weird vision. Like the last one my wife's not too happy with, but I don't know where we were at the time, but I just got a picture of the farm in my head, and it was like a dream. I was getting out of an SUV, and I was standing on a bridge that was sitting over like a wash.
Okay.
And I was looking around, and I saw this big weed growing out of the ground right next to the bridge, and so I went over to pick it up, and at that moment I died. I had a heart attack or something.
Right.
And as I was being lifted up towards heaven, I saw the farm in its entirety, completed.
Wow. That's a complete vision, isn't it? Yeah.
And so my wife doesn't like it because I died in it.
But you're here.
Yeah.
Kathy's here. It's okay.
But
I get that. Yeah.
And that kind of that really kind of solidified everything. It's like, this is going to happen. God is telling me that this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be here, and nothing's going to change that. And I've actually had in the chaplain class other chaplains who had visions of the farm.
Is that right?
One of
no coincidence there.
No.
Yeah.
He said that at work or something, and he was because he's a driver, and he was waiting for his first call to go out or whatever, and he said that he had a vision that he was at my farm, and that he saw a bunch of little houses.
Okay.
And he kept looking for me because he wanted to know where he could give money to. And someone told him I was in the church, and so he walked into the church and he couldn't find me, and then he woke up. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's amazing. That truly is.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit and talk about your faith.
Okay.
You obviously have a deep faith and follow Christ. How did you come to Christ?
Well, luckily that brief time that we lived with my grandparents, the first thing they did was they took us to church.
Oh, that's great.
My dad didn't go to church very often, and my mom only went with us with our grandparents a couple times, but as far as I remember. But we went to church. My grandfather was a great singer. He had this awesome opera singing voice.
Really?
And he would stand in front of the choir.
Huh? Oh. Yeah.
He would stand in front of the choir and sing, and me and my brother were actually in the choir.
Oh, is that right?
So we did that, and then when I was when we moved in with my stepdad, that's when most of it was hard to stay religious at that time.
Yeah, there were negative things happening. Yeah.
And there's all the negativity, and I found myself in a lot of very precarious situations, even as a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
That I know that God's the one who got me out of that.
There you go.
There's no other way.
Yeah, I want to talk about those a little bit, and then how you saw God's hand in your life, because obviously you're a godly man. We need to take a brief break.
Okay.
And we'll be back with Russell Glick, and we're going to talk about the Veteran Dream Farm and his life. He's a fascinating guy. We'll be back with more right after this.
Dale Davidson and the team at Las Vegas Tonight firmly believe that the only solution to today's serious problems is the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. Dale carefully selects his guests on the show, making sure that their dedication to our Lord is heartfelt and genuine, and that their ministries are making a strong and positive difference in the world. Dale doesn't charge anyone to be on Las Vegas Tonight. The cost to produce and air the programs are covered by donations from our ministries partners. We thank you so much for your financial support, and most of all for your prayers. Please consider becoming a partner of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries for just $40 per month. For a little more than $1 a day, you'll be helping us bring the good news of Jesus Christ to millions of people around the world. The television networks that broadcast the program reach from coast to coast in the United States, and through internet apps cover the entire world. Your $40 monthly contribution entitles you to Dale's newsletter that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the production of Las Vegas Tonight and inside information on the exciting guests Dale interviews on every episode. You'll also receive a copy of Dale's book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints, an in-depth look at 10 of Dale's most intriguing guests, plus a very personal story of how Dale came to Christ and the challenges he faces in bringing the good news to the world. Become a partner of our ministry today by going to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries website and clicking on the donate button, or by emailing Dale at dale@lasvegastonight.tv. Or you could write him at Dale Davidson, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Thank you for watching Las Vegas Tonight, and may God bless you abundantly.
Hi, I'm Dale Davidson, host of Las Vegas Tonight. You know, radio has an enduring place in the heart of America. Sometimes it's music that can enliven your spirit or keep you company when you need some. More often for me, it's just been the right spoken word or two that can quiet my mind and soul. Radio brings me a reassuring word in the quiet of night or a welcoming voice early in the morning as I shake off the night's sleep and find my way into God's purpose for my day. And always, I find the best radio station is the one that brings me the best news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. My favorite radio station is KKVV in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's still right where it's been for years, at 1060 on the AM dial, hovering over Sin City like a gospel airship, broadcasting the good news of the abounding love that Jesus Christ has for every single one of us. No matter who you are or where you live, you can receive God's Word via the KKVV Gospel Airship. Just go to kkvv.com and click on Listen Live. KKVV is using all the tools that God's provided them, like podcasting and video streaming and video on demand, to produce programs that lift up our fellow believers and save the lost. If you feel a calling to speak to others about Jesus Christ on your very own show, pick up the phone and call the station. They'll be happy to tell you how. Call KKVV today at 702-731-5588 or drop them an email at kkvvradio@hotmail.com. Please join me in becoming part of the KKVV family. You'll be glad you did. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We're pleased to have with us Russell Glick, who is a U.S. Army veteran. He's doing everything he can to help veterans. He has a dream, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. Tell us a little bit about the precarious situations that you know God got you through, if you want to.
So, as a teenager, being in a household that had drugs in it, of course, I fell into the same situation.
Sure. Hard to avoid.
One of the times, I was hanging out with friends who were unsavory at best, and
right.
We were just walking home from somebody's house, and they said, "Hey, look, there's a trailer right there." It was a construction trailer. The fence was open.
Yeah.
And they said, "Let's go see what's inside." And I was like, "No." And that was because as a teenager, you kind of go along with what your friends say.
Usually, yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
And
I
kind of got turned away and walked home, and the next day I found out that they'd all went to jail.
Wow, they all got caught. Yeah, yeah. So you really feel the hand of the Lord was on you right then and spoke to you, in a silent kind of way and said, turn away from this.
Another time was
I
was hanging out with, this was probably right before I joined the Army. I was hanging out with some friends, and I was on 2 drugs, and then drinking, and then took a 3rd drug.
Wow.
And I thought that I was going to die that night.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, that was crazy. I swore off that lifestyle of going out and partying and partying and partying. After that, I'm not going to say that I didn't do any drugs after that. I'm going to say that I didn't do that kind of stupidness.
Yeah. And the Lord led you out of that gradually. Is that what happened?
Well,
yeah.
It was actually kind of sudden. I was sitting at home, and I had gone to school to be a veterinary assistant, and the job that I had for a year and a half, I quit, and I was going to try and work someplace else, but it wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And I just lost a girlfriend, and there was, I don't know, it just seemed not right. And then I went outside, and my stepdad's friend had showed up. And he was a little younger than my stepdad, so probably in his probably 35. And he had gotten arrested because of drugs for the 3rd time. They took his kids. They took him to jail. And the only way that they would release him from jail on probation is if he was under the authority of his mother.
Okay.
And I said, I do not want to be that. I am not going to be under the care of my mom at 35 years old.
Right.
Because of this stuff that doesn't even matter. So my brother called me and said, hey, you should join the Army. And I was like, done.
Yeah. Good idea. Let's get out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that really totally turned your life around, didn't it?
The Army saved me from probably lots of bad things.
Really?
And my whole family has served. I'm 3rd generation. Yeah, 4th generation Army.
Right.
My great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and me.
Wow.
My brother served. I have a cousin who is in the Air Force. So
there's a tradition there.
There's a tradition, and being in the Army, I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. I loved serving my country.
Right.
And I really did not want any of it to end, but sadly it had to.
Yeah.
I had too many injuries to my knee and was not deployable anymore, and so they decided to med board me. We were training up for another deployment when I broke my knee for the 4th time.
Oh boy.
So
if you can't run, you really can't serve.
No.
Yeah. I know of other instances. Our director, William Young, had the same problem with an injury that ultimately, I think that's right, isn't it, William? Caused you to leave the Army. So thanks for serving, by the way. Let's talk about the Veteran Dream Farm. You touched on it a little bit, about how you had an amazing vision of what it looked like. What's the purpose of the Dream Farm?
It's kind of multi-purpose. The idea initially stems from veteran homelessness, veteran suicide.
Right.
And the fact that the reason why those things happen is because veterans aren't given a good out processing.
Oh, really?
And they're not ready for the difference. They're not told how different it is being in a unit where, you can talk smack to somebody and they're not going to punch you in the face because it's just something that we do.
Yeah.
Right. You can count on the guy next to you to throw down his life for you. I mean, there's a lot of things that are there in the military that you experience that when you get out, it's like, I mean, even stability. Like when you're in the military, you know you're going to get paid.
Right.
Sometimes things happen, but I mean, most of the time, you know you're going to get paid and you know you're going to get fed. And then when you get out, it's like they say, here, this is how you write a resume, and then they drop you off at the corner. And it's not really...
That's not enough.
No.
Yeah.
So based off of that, helping veterans get out of homelessness, get out of drugs, get out of mental health crisis that there is.
Yeah.
Starting there, and then also at the same time helping soldiers transition from the military into civilian life. Because basically what all the people who are contemplating suicide or who are homeless, they need to transition.
Right.
So
a middle step.
Right. They need that middle step.
Okay. All right.
So the Veteran Dream Farm is intended to be an actual working farm.
Okay.
But it's also intended to be a distance learning facility.
All right.
We would get someone, say, off the street.
Okay.
What they would do is they would go through a program that we are working with the USDA, where they would learn a farming skill.
Oh, okay. They'd be trained right on site.
Right.
Okay.
Because the USDA has...
Department of Agriculture.
Right.
Yeah.
They have classes and stuff like that that you can attend to online, and you can do it for free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you can go into the farm and do the work.
Okay.
So that would be the first step. They would go through that program, figure out what they're going to do at the farm. Then they would only be required to actually do probably about 4 hours of work on the farm, and then the other 4 hours of the day they would be in class.
Okay.
So our goals, we've partnered with the Small Business Administration. We're working on the VA, the USDA, and I know there's more organizations out there because you have veterans, a lot of veterans who have financial opportunities for college through grants.
Sure.
Through their...
Sure. The education program is really
Right.
pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you have a large group of people, you can probably partner with a college to bring classes, through the internet to a place.
Okay.
Also, not everybody wants to go to college to be a businessman. Some people
Right.
want to just learn a great trade.
Sure.
So some of the biggest high-paying trades are welding, they're diesel mechanics.
Right.
And those are things that farms need. They need welders
absolutely.
to
Yeah.
weld fences and build greenhouse frames.
Yeah. Sure.
So you could have someone who's come in and teach them. They could get certified, and that's their program. So
And they've got a lifelong skill there.
right. So it's
Okay.
intended to be diverse as
Okay.
far as education goes.
Okay.
And then they also have, working on the farm is therapy.
Okay.
So there's the agrotherapy is a term used for a lot of different things. There's bee therapy and horse therapy, and they
I've
have
heard
their
of
own
that.
specific
Yeah.
names,
Yeah.
and they use that a lot. And it's everything that has to do with farming. And the reason why that makes sense to me, that I feel like I've been told, is that when we were put on the earth, we were farmers. We grew our food.
Sure. Right
we
from the
worked-
beginning.
We worked hard.
Yeah.
And that's where our roots are. And if we want to rebuild ourselves, we have to get back to our roots. And so growing is the opposite of destruction.
Sure.
War is destruction. It's
Right.
chaos. Growing is order and peace and growth.
Right.
And so I think that's why a lot of people have had a lot of success with agrotherapy. I've actually been, if you I have a business plan, and in my business plan, I noted a bunch of other places that are doing agrotherapy, and I actually contacted some of them. One of the places is it's back east, and they just do bees. So they have people,
I've heard of this. Yeah,
they have people
teach
come
them
in.
beekeeping.
Right, they come in and they just beekeep for like a weekend, or they go on a outing to another place that makes honey. You know?
Yeah.
And so
they learn the business.
Right, and the lady who runs it told me that she has amazing stories of, people who were angry and on the verge of getting divorced, and just going through her program, they changed. And so while that's great, I think that those small programs are great. I do.
Yeah.
But I think that to change permanently, it's going to take longer than a weekend.
Sure.
Because it took years for people to become broken.
Right.
And so they need years to become fixed.
Is faith-based therapy part of this?
Well,
I know you have to be careful if you're getting federal government dollars, but
right. So the Veteran Dream Farm is a faith-based organization that does not push faith, because we can't and still get money to help people.
Right, I understand that.
But we believe that God is the firm foundation that everything that is going to stand is built.
Sure.
And without him, you are going to fail. But that's kind of what the farm has. If people go through the program and they don't learn about God and they don't get a relationship with God,
right,
and they go out, they're probably not going to succeed. I mean, it's just,
you have to have that firm foundation.
if you don't have that firm foundation, as soon as the sand shifts, it's going to fall.
Yeah, it will.
And where are they going to go?
Yeah.
They're going to come back to the place that helped them before.
Yeah. It's a great idea. We're going to take another brief break and do a little commerce here. Russell Glick is our guest, the Veteran Dream Farm. We'll talk a little bit during this upcoming final segment, on how you can help him and how you can reach him, and the website and all that jazz. We'll be back with Russ Glick right after this.
Dale Davidson and the team at Las Vegas Tonight firmly believe that the only solution to today's serious problems is the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. Dale carefully selects his guests on the show, making sure that their dedication to our Lord is heartfelt and genuine, and that their ministries are making a strong and positive difference in the world. Dale doesn't charge anyone to be on Las Vegas Tonight. The cost to produce and air the programs are covered by donations from our ministries partners. We thank you so much for your financial support, and most of all for your prayers. Please consider becoming a partner of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries for just $40 per month. For a little more than $1 a day, you'll be helping us bring the good news of Jesus Christ to millions of people around the world. The television networks that broadcast the program reach from coast to coast in the United States, and through internet apps cover the entire world. Your $40 monthly contribution entitles you to Dale's newsletter that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the production of Las Vegas Tonight, and inside information on the exciting guests Dale interviews on every episode. You'll also receive a copy of Dale's book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints, an in-depth look at 10 of Dale's most intriguing guests, plus a very personal story of how Dale came to Christ and the challenges he faces in bringing the good news to the world. Become a partner of our ministry today by going to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries website and clicking on the donate button, or by emailing Dale at dale@lasvegastonight.tv. Or you could write him at Dale Davidson, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Thank you for watching Las Vegas Tonight, and may God bless you abundantly.
A potential audience of more than 50 million people is reached every week by Las Vegas Tonight. To keep the important message of Christ's love on the air, we need your prayers and financial blessings. please send your tax-deductible gift to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For a donation of $25 or more, we'll send you a copy of Dale Davidson's new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You'll love these inspiring stories of Las Vegas Christians who are changing the world. Or donate to the ministry, or order Dale's book by going to vegassaints.org. That's vegassaints.org. Or call us today at 702-480-3989. That's 480-3989. God bless you.
The Lord has made it possible for our show, Las Vegas Tonight, to thrive. We've produced well over 300 episodes telling the remarkable stories of Christians who have set out to change the world for the better. It's my honor to lead this ministry. As the founder of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries, I'm commanded to be a good steward of all the donations our partners have so generously provided to us. As you can imagine, it takes a great deal of money to keep this program on the air in the United States and around the world. Please prayerfully consider making a one-time donation or becoming a monthly partner of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries. Just go to vegassaints.org and select Make a Donation, or send your check or money order made out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For more information, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. We're very pleased to have with us Russell Glick. Russ is a veterans advocate. He's got a great idea for what he's calling the Veteran Dream Farm, and he wants to help fellow veterans who are having a difficult time. Why do veterans end up homeless? How does that happen?
A lot of times they give up because there is a stigma on veterans in some areas where, PTSD, anger problems, and so they usually don't find a good fit.
They don't find a good job.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they end up saying, you know what, I learned survival skills in the military. I'll just use them and not deal with society.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing. Homeless people mainly don't want to deal with society.
Yeah.
They live among us, but they try to stay invisible because they don't want to deal with us.
Yeah. So that's what it is. And they're essentially camping.
Right.
Yeah. That's really very interesting. I didn't know that. Let's return to your vision, because that fascinates me. You said in the dream you had lifted up and you could see the entire farm. Describe for me what that looked like.
So in the vision, when I was rising up, there were 3 white buildings. One of them was the main building that housed the offices, the computer lab, the church, and the kitchen. And then there were 2 buildings, one on either side, that were like barracks.
Okay.
And as I rose above those buildings, I saw a giant cross made out of greenhouses that was surrounded by 4 fields of crops.
Wow. That's wonderful. What's the location? Where are you going to build the dream farm?
I'm relying on the Holy Spirit to guide me in all these things because it's God's will, and only He knows where it needs to go. But a lot of what I'm getting is it needs to go in Kingman.
In Kingman, Arizona. Okay.
Right. Because there's been lots of coincidences involving Kingman where we know a lot of people there now.
Oh,
and
okay.
They're telling us, hey, these farms are for sale. And then we volunteer for special needs ministry at a church. And every year we go to special needs camp to help out as kitchen staff.
Oh, okay.
And I met this lady who works as part of a military moms group. It's called the Tri-State Military Moms Group.
Okay.
and it's out of Kingman, Arizona.
Ah.
And so she said that they service Arizona, Nevada, and California from where they are. And they do homecomings, and they help with sending stuff overseas to people who are deployed. And they do it for the tri-state area. And I was like,
oh, okay.
Tri-state area, tri-state area. And if you look at because I've done a lot of research on veterans and homelessness and veterans and suicide, and the biggest place for veteran homelessness is the place that has the most homeless people, and that's California.
Right.
Right. It's kind of weird because you look at 20% of the population represents 70% of the homeless, and the largest number of people who are committing suicide, that's 20% of the population.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big,
an awful lot.
So Nevada has, it's kind of down a little lower on the numbers
right.
for veteran homelessness, and that was, I think, 2014 is the last one that I found.
Official count, probably.
Right. And Arizona was probably about 10. So when you put them all together, though, that's a large, large number of homeless veterans.
Sure.
And veterans who are homeless or becoming homeless are the ones that are on that suicidal. And a lot of times it's people don't even know, because soldiers are proud, veterans are proud. They don't give out their problems freely. That's something that we don't do very well.
Yeah.
And so they could have problems that nobody knows about, and then they think it's the end of the world. And so it's kind of, I honestly can tell you that even being married to my beautiful wife and having the life that I have right now, it hits me, because my ex-wife left me when I was on deployment.
Wow.
It was just early December, probably around this time.
Yeah.
She told me finally that she was living with another man, and that my kids were living with her, with another man. And I hung up the phone. I walked back to the barracks, but I didn't go into my barracks room. I went into a KBR bathroom. It's kind of like a trailer that has bathroom stalls.
Oh, okay.
I sat on a toilet. I pulled out my 9mm. I cocked it and I put it in my mouth. I was there for probably about, it seemed like forever, but it was probably only about 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And my kids popped into my head, and I went and told my squad leader. I said, "Hey, my wife's leaving me. I was just sitting in the toilet." Sorry, excuse my language. I was just sitting in the bathroom with my 9mm in my mouth, and I don't know what to do. So I know what that's like.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that, recently when you have teenagers and they don't want to talk to you, the devil tries to lie to you again, and he says, "Well, see, they didn't help you. You don't even have them now. You should have just done it all those years ago." And
right.
You just have to fight that off, and that's something that you need to learn.
The enemy just whispers in your ear, doesn't
right.
it? Yeah.
That's something you have to learn, and that's another thing that the farm is about is these are lies. They aren't the truth.
Right.
This is not really happening.
Yeah. Did you feel the Army gave you help when that happened?
No. When I came home from that deployment, well, they sent me home around Christmas time, and my ex-wife at the time kind of just avoided me and left me with the kids. When I came back, they said, "Are you good?" And I said, "Sure."
That was it.
So I'll give you a picture of how it went. We went through in processing, and then they got us into a formation, which is where we line up.
Right.
And they marched us into a gym with a basketball on the basketball court. They said some things, and then they released us. And everybody had someone come and hug them and walk away with them. I stood there by myself.
By yourself. Nobody there.
After everybody was leaving or left, I walked out and I was sitting on my bags in the parking lot, and my commander, no, I think it was my first sergeant, came up to me and said, "Sergeant Glick, what are you doing?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Do you need a spot in the barracks?" And I said, "I don't know, my wife said that she got me a place." And he goes, "Got you a place?" I'm like, "Yeah, got me a place." Well, as that conversation happened, she pulled up and drove me to my apartment, showed me my 1984 Honda Civic. This was in 2005, that her mom bought me because she was taking the truck that she bought with my money. And then we went up to my 2-bedroom apartment where she didn't live. And it didn't really work out from there. I had lots of drinking and kind of fell back into almost doing drugs. I didn't do drugs, I was drinking a lot. We almost got back together, and then she left me again, and I almost committed suicide again. And I was I was really drunk, and I walked home from the bar about 6 miles. I got there, and I was fully intent on doing it. And by the time I left my apartment with my shotgun in my Jeep, I decided it wasn't a good idea. So I went back up to my room, or my apartment, and went to sleep. And
so it was a God intervention, you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
The next morning I got arrested because my ex-mother-in-law told my ex-wife that I said I was going to go kill her when I said I was going to go kill myself.
Right.
And so that was a big ordeal, and I made it through. And then I met Kathy again. We were high school sweethearts.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
And we kind
That's
of...
a nice story.
I'll tell you about that someday. I knew right away she was going to be my wife. I just didn't know when.
That's sweet.
And part of, I think, what we're doing is part of why we're together, because the last time we broke up, I told God that I would do whatever He wanted me to do if I could get her back.
Oh, that's great.
So we got back together, and then we started going to church, and
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you're together, you're chaplains, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about being a chaplain. What's that like?
So we went through a 2-year training program with lots of homework and volunteer work. We were already serving in the special needs ministry, so we were already kind of doing what chaplains do.
Yeah,
and chaplains just are kind of there to help take care of things.
Yeah. Help people. I'm a chaplain myself.
Yeah. Just whatever your needs are, because we've gone to hospitals and seen burn victims and prayed for them, and and that was a very hard thing to do. I've never had to see someone who was burnt that bad. I mean, I've seen somewhat worse, but not like someone's mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard. But basically we go in and do the jobs that nobody wants to do and help people that nobody wants to help, because God has told us that this is what needs to be done.
Tell me about your church.
So I go to, I'm just going to say their name, Dream City Church.
Right, yeah.
It used to be Phoenix First Assembly.
Yeah,
it's the
great church.
Big church on the hill.
Great church. And they've done the Dream Center in L.A. And
that's kind of the
yeah.
Because there are lots of treatment programs in Phoenix, but when you look at the Dream Centers there, they have like a 97% success rate.
Wow.
That's unheard of in any
recovery program.
Right, and they're helping people from sex trafficking to on drugs, and it's awesome what they do. And that church has grown huge.
Oh, it's a big church. Yeah.
So they have partners all over the United States and all over the world that are opening up Dream Centers.
Wow.
They have the Dream Center in LA, the Dream Center in Phoenix. They have a couple of other facilities in Phoenix that house really young women who've been sex trafficked.
Oh, okay.
Someone who went to the Dream Center was one of Warren Jeff's ex-wives.
Yes. Right.
And he, when she recovered,
this is the fundamental LDS church,
right?
Yeah.
And when she recovered, a lawsuit was filed, and she was awarded his estate, his house, 10-acre compound, and she turned that over to the Dream City Church and the Dream Centers to be a Dream Center for the.
I've heard this story. It's great.
Yeah,
has barracks and or apartments and
right.
All
yeah,
kinds of
they
stuff.
took all the rooms that used to be for his wives and they redid them all so that there's none of the evil that was there
That's
left
wonderful.
in the rooms. Yeah.
What a great ministry.
Yeah.
Great ministry, and it's a great thing for you and your wife and your family to be involved in.
Another thing that kind of clicked is, so it's up in Colorado City, which is up by the Grand Canyon.
Right, on the border. Yeah.
Right. And Kingman is up in the north. And so in that area, they're very short on food. Our church opened a food bank there. And I think that if we had a farm, we could probably help them with some food too.
I'll bet you could.
Yeah, because that kind of hit me last week, and they were talking about that. I was like,
natural.
They need a farm. They need food. Here's a farm.
There you go.
That'd be great.
Why don't you tell that we're running out of time? It's hard to believe that the hour is ripped by already. Tell me about how people can contact you and how can people help you make this dream come true.
So right now we're looking for land.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing, and we have to have money to pay for the land.
Sure.
Our goal is to raise $500,000 to get everything built and complete to what we need. And then
that's not a lot of money, really.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. Yeah.
So a 70-acre
for a big dream like that.
With the buildings that we need, building the greenhouses, the equipment that we'll need, that would be a good start. And that's what we need is we need to start.
Yeah.
So if people want to donate, they can go to the website, which is veterandreamfarm.us.
Okay.
On that website, there is a PayPal button.
Oh, okay.
We also have a comment section. I've done a couple of videos that are on the website. I haven't really done one in a while, and I need to start. I've been the chaplain class. It was just so hectic. I didn't get to do a lot, but now I'm focusing more
on a very full-time job.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can do that. We can also be reached at veterandreamfarm@yahoo.com.
Oh, okay. And that is veteran without an S. I made that mistake.
Right.
Yeah, so veterandreamfarm.us.
That's correct.
And what a great vision you have. And obviously the Lord's behind it, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to happen.
And, I know you've been through a lot. We appreciate your openness and talking about it. But also, the happy ending to this story.
Yeah.
I have such a heart for veterans as well. And And to see what's happening is tragic and mind-boggling, you know, for these men and women to have served us, served our country, helped bring us freedom and protect our freedoms, and then end up on the street is just astonishing that we let that happen, you know. So you're taking it on. God bless you for doing it.
Thank you.
Russell Glick, ladies and gentlemen, and please give him a hand, if you will. It's veterandreamfarm.us, and he'd be happy to contact you back and call if you have questions and you just have a load of money you don't know what to do with.
We're also seeking help too, so if people have skills that they want to donate.
Oh, okay.
That would be great too.
Great, yeah. You got a lot of construction that you're going to have to do, and what a great dream. Yeah. Thank you so much, Russell Glick. We so appreciate your watching Las Vegas Tonight, this very special episode. Please give us a call if you have any questions, concerns, or you want to help the ministry. My number is 702-480-3989. God bless you. And when it comes to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, please walk with him. God bless you.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
The Lord has made it possible for our show, Las Vegas Tonight, to thrive. We've produced well over 300 episodes telling the remarkable stories of Christians who have set out to change the world for the better. It's my honor to lead this ministry. As the founder of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries, I'm commanded to be a good steward of all the donations our partners have so generously provided to us. As you can imagine, it takes a great deal of money to keep this program on the air in the United States and around the world. Please prayerfully consider making a one-time donation or becoming a monthly partner of Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries. Just go to vegassaints.org and select Make a Donation, or send your check or money order made out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada 89117. For more information, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with Dale Davidson. Send your tax-deductible gifts to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Or call 702-480-3989.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Merrill and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Source Network loves to make you laugh. Mahel Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal, and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on with Broken Bulb Productions. Owned by Russell Rapp. an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey. This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a nonprofit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Colorlific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development, and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show is also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.
Social Media Shows is a production company based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We offer these services. We've been streaming shows live in real time for over 4 years on major social media platforms and also on our website socialmediashows.com. And we are now on Roku TV. We welcome you to have your own show on our TV network. Call us 651-955-8743 or email us at admin@socialmediashows.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.